Tennessee is lucky to have the Great Smoky Mountains in its own backyard. Lots of people stay in Gatlinburg when they visit, and they love the hustle and bustle. But did you know that there's a peaceful side of town that boasts one of the prettiest bed and breakfasts we've ever seen? Laura Faber takes us inside the Mountainview Inn.
Every year, the Great Smoky Mountains call millions of travelers to come experience their beauty. We found a perfect place to take it all in. It's in Gatlinburg, but away from the crowds and busy downtown. This inn covers you in comfort, a warm personal touch, great food, an incredible view, and it's dog-friendly too.
You're such a good boy, look at those eyes.
We had bought this land that had such a gorgeous view. We did think, will people come this far out? Because at that time, we were really kind of isolated. Now we're, not so much, but we took a chance on it.
That was 30 years ago. Since then, Hippensteal's Mountainview Inn has become the go-to place to stay for people from all over the country. Vern and Lisa Hippensteal are the proprietors.
I think their lives are so hectic that it's just a respite. They come, they relax, sometimes they just don't even leave.
That in the view. We'll get up at breakfast, fixing breakfast, and we get up early, and you'll walk out on the porches, and people will be sitting on their porches just watching the sunrise.
It's just a home away from home.
While Vern and Lisa love sharing their passion for the Smoky Mountains with their guests, it's their own love story that is wonderful too. Lisa actually grew up in a hotel, which is where they met. It was the original Mountainview Inn that used to be located in downtown Gatlinburg.
It started out as just this little tiny place, and then of course it grew through the years, but it was the first hotel built in Gatlinburg, and I grew up there. My father managed the hotel for almost 40 years, and it was home to me.
I lived in Atlanta for 5 years, hated every day of it, and when I came to watch a friend graduate from high school that was 2 classes behind me, and I watched him graduate and found a job with her dad, interviewed with her dad, found me a job and a place to live, and I came back home. My family was still living in Atlanta, but I came back home and have never left since. Stayed friends forever, but we didn't start seeing each other till she was 26.
I was already out of college.
Yes.
So.
Well, the biggest thing between the two of us, we both loved to hike. And so I would go to LeConte, and Lisa would I'd call her and say, I'm hiking to LeConte today, would you like to go with me? And she would.
So by the time we decided to get married, we wanted to be married on Mount LeConte, and so we hiked up the day before with a minister and 20 of our closest friends and got married at sunrise. And
8 degrees.
In November, and then came down that night and repeated our vows in the church with all of our other friends, and that was almost 40 years ago.
Vern is a working artist. His watercolor paintings showing the splendor of the Smokies have been collected in this area for decades.
This is the green that you actually see in nature.
After a career as a dental hygienist, Lisa finally convinced Vern to combine his art and her love of providing people with a place to stay. Vern designed the current Mountainview Inn around the original hotel.
The original hotel was designed by Hubert Bebb, who was a student of Frank Lloyd Wright's. And when we found out the hotel was going to be torn down, I wanted to use the same lines of the original hotel.
This is one of 12 rooms that you can choose from here at the inn. No 2 are alike. They're all decorated in a unique way. They do have 2 things in common though. Vern's artwork is all over the walls, and they all share this incredible view. From the rocking chairs on every porch, you can see the Greenbrier Pinnacle to your left, Mount LeConte straight ahead, and Mount Harrison to your right for sunrise and sunset. Every bedroom has a wall of windows, king-size bed, TV and a fireplace, and an oversized whirlpool tub and a private bath. They are decorated based on a theme and one of Vern's paintings, with names like Into the Woods, Spring Beauties, and Lady of the Mountains.
We want you to feel at home. You can roam around the house any time of the day or night, enjoy. If you need something and somebody's not available, you just find it.
The library is full of games and books to borrow. The gathering area downstairs is homey, filled with antiques and gorgeous stained glass lamps. The elegant black and white checkered foyer and dining room are filled with light from the many windows, and of course, a mountain view.
More milk in there.
And every morning, Lisa and her staff make a homemade breakfast.
Probably our favorite is called eggs Hippensteal, and it's homemade sourdough bread, and it's grilled with, then we fry eggs and do bacon and cheese sauce and tomatoes and sprouts on top. So it's all kind of stacked up pretty. It's served with baked apples, cinnamon apples, and fresh fruit, and then we serve dessert after breakfast.
The bread is my wife's homemade bread.
I was determined to get chocolate in everything. So we made pumpkin bread and put chocolate chips in it.
Because we've done this for 30 years, and many of our guests have been coming for 30 years. And we watched them when they go through the period where they had to hike every trail in the park. They would get up, they would be on the trail the minute breakfast was over. And as we get over, then you'd see them, they had to get in the park, but they'd drive. They would no longer hike. And then it got to the point where, well, we're just going to stay at the end. You know, we've done all that. We don't have to do it anymore.
Vern and Lisa Hippensteal don't have an exit plan. This is their home, and everyone is welcome.
We feel so blessed because most people don't get to do what they love to do and enjoy. And we've done it now for 30 years, and it just keeps getting sweeter and sweeter.